Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Qigong with the Levy Tai Chi School and myself, Lao Shi Paul Nettles. It is Monday, November 30th, and this is going to be one of the less well-contrived classes that I have done in a while. I would think as far back as the end of March. So as you can see, I am in the house. I am not outside. If you've attended any of my classes, you know I'm a much bigger fan of being outside than I am of being inside. But this morning it is about 35 here in the country, and there is a good 15-mile-an-hour breeze blowing out there. And it is blowing from the north, which puts the wind directly along my front porch. It's not blowing across the house or into me. I've got to stop that. Hold on. That was Bender, our Roomba, starting. The wind is not blowing in a way that's conducive to me being on the front porch doing anything that isn't very, very, very active to build up some sweat. It is blowing straight down the porch from the north, and even with thermals on and gloves and hat, I didn't think I could stand it this morning. I know my limits, and that was them. So we're going to have class this morning, and hopefully not too many more times, but this morning we're going to have class in my living room, which is really closer to how I would do the class ordinarily for myself. I would play the form myself on my own. I wouldn't need to go outside for myself. I just felt like it. I might do it in the house. With that being said, obviously you have the fan there to distract you, and I've got kind of an odd angle into my living room on the camera, so please do forgive the unusual layout and me trying to figure out how to do this properly. This is the first time I've tried to shoot in the living room, and it is really one of the few rooms I have that's at all conducive to filming in, because the house isn't really set up to have a camera in it. There's usually, as you can see, a light fixture in the way of some sort. So I did want to mention very fast before I went into the whole explanation of why I'm in my living room this morning. I was thinking this morning as I woke up, I am one of those folks who are susceptible to what they call SAD or SADS, the seasonal affective disorder or seasonal affective depression. I am an outside person. I like the sunshine, and of course we move into winter, the days get shorter and colder, and we lose the sun for up to several hours, or like this last couple days, for 2 days in a row we have no sun. That really gets to me. That really saps my energy, makes me want to curl up in a ball and not leave the bed. The cat's playing with the tripod now. It's gonna be a goat day, I can tell. It really does affect me in a very real sense, and mentally as well as physically. And I want you to know that if you're in the same boat, you aren't alone by any stretch. It is a fairly common thing, and no, I don't have a good answer to it. I will tell you what I do, and this morning was one of those mornings when I really just did not want to get out of bed. Like I say, it reached about 35 here in the country last night, and the house got extremely cold, and I love the cold, and I was in the bed bundled up warm and did not want to leave the bed. Just knew it was going to be another dark day like the past 2 days of rain, and I've had very low energy days the past 2 days and just was not ready to get up and go. And I'm not trying to minimize the effects of depression, but if you're borderline, like I was this morning, just trying to shut down and stay shut down for the day, sometimes you just got to kick yourself in the butt. And I'm not offering this as a cure for depression, because I've suffered from depression since I was a teenager. And it is not the answer to depression. Depression is not something as simple as, not fixed so easily as having some self-discipline. That's not the cure for depression, not at all. I'm not saying that. But when you have those borderline days, when you just don't quite feel like it, but you're kind of on the fence about it, don't be afraid to give yourself a little push. Not a lot. Don't get mean to yourself, but give yourself a little push, because chances are pretty good when you do get moving, you're going to feel better. And that's what this is about. This class is about giving you something to push you, giving you something that you have to get up to do. If you tell yourself that you will feel better afterwards, that you'll feel more energized, more energetic. You'll feel better as you do it, and when it's finished and you feel that energy flowing, it will help. It really will. And obviously, if you are well past that tipping point, well past the sitting on the fence of depression and have fallen into it, seek help. There's no shame in that. All right, so let's see if I can adjust the camera just a little bit here, and then we will try, cross your fingers for me, to have a class in the living room with cats and dogs and the Roomba shut down, and we'll see how this goes. Not even sure I can sow with the fan here. Let me change this just a little bit. You get to watch my dog sleep through class. I'll try to get right here and see if I can sow. Possibly. Deep breath. Lifting the heavens. out. Definitely a goat class. If anybody wants any kittens, I have several lovely 10-week-old kittens, maybe 12-week. Very, very sweet, very active, very active. Owl gazes backward. Breathe out. Draw a bow. Traffic worked out here. Stars fall to earth. Breathe in. Lion wags tail. Breathe out. Marry heavens and earth. Breathe in. Quan Ti sits on throne. stamp the earth. One more. So, I learned something interesting this morning. I don't know if you saw the light bulb go on or not, but something happened this morning, and I'm glad I was inside and had dogs and cats to distract me. I have long practiced outside, at least partially because I enjoy the outside, but I think also because there's a minimum of distractions. Yeah, they happen. If you saw the trash truck one and the neighbor cursing, that was a very distracted day. But for the most part, those days go by very quietly. And I've learned to ignore the cars and things and the birds and so forth. And of course the wind chimes, which you can probably hear on the front porch right now. They're going pretty hard. But my practice with the goats, and today with the dog, and the other dog didn't get up, she was still sleeping, and the cats, the kittens out here, I didn't get aggravated, but it was distracting because I was letting myself be distracted by them. And that's the lesson. I have practiced inside before many, many times, and it's never seemed to have bothered me. I let myself be distracted because I'm teaching, and I think teaching is important. And I think to some extent my ego's getting in the way, that I have to have this perfect for to be a teacher. And that's not true. And ego is not a good thing to have as a teacher, in my opinion. An egotistical teacher is not going to teach you well. So I think that's the lesson there. I'm going to have to expand this more as I have time to think about it. I'm going to meditate on this today as I do my housework and so forth. But I think that's the problem. I think that's my ego getting in the way, that this class should be perfect and should be flawless and presentation and everything, when in fact nothing is flawless and free of imperfections. And sometimes you've got to do your class. Sometimes you've got to play your form with the animals and the kids and the dishes and all the things, the imperfect house. And you've got to let go of that to be able to really, really sink into yourself. So yeah, I have some thinking to do today, for sure. I'll have a full report tomorrow, 8 a.m. Interesting. My mind is a whirl now. So, I hope it's pleasant where you are. I hope it's not too windy. I hope you get some outside time. I'm going to try to get some sunshine time today myself while the sun's up and recharge my vitamin D battery. If you do have to get out, as always, please Stay safe and be well.